Every year the monsoon rains bring life and renewal to India and trouble to the country's vast network of railways.
বৃষ্টি পরে টাপুর টুপুর বৃষ্টি পরে টাপুর টুপুর বৃষ্টি পরে টাপুর টুপুর বৃষ্টি পরে টাপুর টুপুর নদী এলো বান শিব ঠাকুরের বিয়ে হবে তিনকোনার দান শিব ঠাকুরের বিয়ে হবে তিনকোনার দান.
This is the continuing story of the Indian Railway and the monsoon. In Assam, the Northeast Frontier Railway gets more than its fair share of rain, and this year has been no exception. The Brahmaputra River has risen by more than 3 meters, carrying floodwater from China and Bhutan into Assam. The lowlands are flooded, and many villages and railway lines have been swept away. It's a continuing challenge to the railway and its employees. Subhash Kumar Rai is 26 years old. He had ambitions to be a rock star, but when his father, a railway policeman, died in service, Subhash became the head of the family. But the railway looks after its own and offered him a job on compassionate grounds. This is his first posting since he qualified as an assistant driver. 600 miles south in West Bengal, the monsoon rains have been inconsistent and light. Kharagpur is an important junction on the Southeastern Railway, and it's a railway colony. The British built colonies like this a century ago to house railway workers and soldiers. Over 100,000 people live here, and all of them are connected with the railway. Kharagpur station is the hub of the town, and its claim to fame is having the longest platform in the world. Steve de Cruz is a senior guard on the Southeastern Railway. He's lived and worked here for more than 30 years. The continuing drizzle in Kharagpur hasn't caused any problems so far, but it's a stifling 37 degrees and the humidity is rising. Kolkata is 75 miles east from here. It's hotter, and it hasn't rained for weeks. No matter what the weather, Bengal thrives on protest. It's as passionately communist as it is democratic, so the issues can be international or they can be local. The railways do not escape the protesters' attention. South of Howrah station, a concrete post is blocking the path of a commuter train. It's a job for Tapas Bagchi, the troubleshooter for the railway. He's passionate about his job and about safety. Years ago, his young brother was killed by a train whilst crossing the track. Since then, he's dedicated himself to the railway, the largest railway network in all Asia. The British established the railways in India over 150 years ago, but their original plans to start the railway here went wrong. It was here in Calcutta that the first railway track in India was supposed to be laid. But the ship carrying the engine from England sailed right past Calcutta and ended up in Australia. And the coaches sank in the Bay of Bengal, so the honour of the first line went to Bombay. The Calcutta line opened about a year later, but it's no less proud of its 150th anniversary and just as determined to celebrate it.
In Calcutta, we were about 16 months late. We ran the first train on the 15th of August, 1854. And I would like to add that this 15th of August date assumes a lot of significance because by sort of a pleasant coincidence, should I say, and certainly an unpremeditated one, that we attained independence. India attained independence on this particular day, 15th of August, 93 years later. So this date of 15th August assumes a lot of importance as far as train running is concerned, and we always say that we are proud to share our birthday with independent India.
It's an irony that the founding of the Indian Railways is celebrated on the same day as the British leaving India. Independence gave India freedom, but so too did the railways the British left behind. For the Northeast Frontier Railway, Independence Day is not just a celebration, it's also a grim reminder.
Of late, we have seen some challenge being posed by anti-social elements, anti-national elements in terms of sabotage. Recently, we've had some bad cases where our trains were targeted by bombs being planted on railway tracks. Bombs, yes. But it's not possible to man each and every culvert, each and every bridge.
फिर भी यह दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि उपद्रवी तत्वों तथा द्वारा रेल प्रतिष्ठानों और रेल कर्मचारियों को प्रायः निशाना बनाया जाता रहा है। गत वर्ष रेल पथों और प्लेटफार्मों पर बम विस्फोट की 6 घटनाएं, रेल पथ के साथ छेड़छाड़ की 9 घटनाएं तथा विस्फोटक सामग्रियों की बरामदगी की 3 घटनाएं हुई थी। इस वर्ष अप्रैल माह में दलदली स्टेशन के निकट आतंकवादियों की मांग को ठुकराए जाने पर हमारे 2 बहादुर रेल कर्मियों नरेश्वर कलिता, सहायक स्टेशन मास्टर, और राजेंद्र प्रसाद, पॉइंट्समैन की हत्या कर दी गई थी। इस बहादुरी के लिए हम उन्हें अपनी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करते हैं और उनके परिवार को संवेदना देते हैं।
At an Independence Day celebration only 100 kilometers from here, another bomb has blown up a school today, killing 13 people, including 5 children. Not only must Indian railways deal with bombs and floods during the monsoon, they must also prepare for accidents and disasters. The sound of a siren means there's been an accident. If it sounds 5 times or more, it's a passenger train that's crashed. In Kharagpur Division, Vivek Srivastava is the senior commercial manager and his wife Archana is the senior safety officer. As key figures in the disaster management team, they know reaction time is a matter of life and death.
Hello? Doctor, immediately.
Wherever the accident, the same emergency procedures kick into action, and getting medical help to the crash scene is their priority. As soon as the siren sounds, a team of doctors and nurses from across the city rush to the station to board an emergency medical train. This train is supposed to leave within 15 minutes. Every medical train has a core team of surgeons and doctors and a fully equipped operating theatre. They can be called into service on any of Indian Railway's 40,000 miles of track.
This is an exercise that we are conducting basically to assess our preparedness on a disaster, major disaster involving passenger casualties.
This is one of the biggest disaster exercises the Railways has ever staged. Over 400 rail workers and their children take part. Those without specific tasks play passengers and patients. Several voluntary organizations, even the armed forces, have been called in to assist.
2 local trains made a head-on collision and 2 coaches have derailed. There were injured passengers and dead bodies. Expected dead is about 50 and expected injured is about 100. We are still not sure the figure. We will be able to reach a figure maybe in an hour or so.
The railway uses the very latest high-tech communication systems and aims to get information about the dead and injured onto its website within an hour.
The passengers have to be taken out, they have to be given some succor, some kind of elementary arrangements have to be made for food and water. After giving them medical aid, they have to be transported. Some of them who require serious medical aid have to be given something like that.
51 dead, 19 grievous injured, 34 minor injury.
This is a very huge disaster. This is something rare which will not happen even once in a year on the entire Indian Railways. Fortunately, it has never happened on this division, but just to touch our preparedness, we are carrying out this exercise.
Normally the derailments are during monsoon or this period of time. So we thought if we plan this exercise at this time, it will be more realistic. But if there is a real disaster, people were supposed to act as they will do during an actual disaster.
Your attention please. 434 down, allow for one passenger.
In Kharagpur, life returns to normal. It's a time for managers and their families to relax after a grueling day. For husband and wife team Vivek and Archana, the disaster exercise has been a great success, although the absence of any rain was disappointing. In Calcutta, where it hasn't rained at all this month, everybody's waiting for a sign that the monsoon rains are finally on their way.
What is the pressure?
039.
039.
The pattern of the monsoon varies from year to year. Kolkata has had to wait a long time for the relief of the rains this year. and there are no guarantees. But the data at last suggests the rain-bearing winds are blowing in the right direction.
सामने कोई गाड़ी है क्या? सामने गाड़ी है क्या?
I like the rain.
Why?
Survival. If you don't get rain, you won't be able to survive.
Yeah, but in England, when we see the rain, we get really depressed.
Yeah, that's because in England, the climatic conditions are different. India is a tropical country. So, for good harvesting, we need rain. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem for the coming months. Rice, dal, all these are seasonal things which grow after the rains, especially rice. And our staple food is rice in India, rice and wheat. The sound is, the sound gives you a very distinct thing, especially if you're alone somewhere. Oh, I experienced, I was going to work, these things, they were really rattling it. And each time I put up my umbrella, because that it's a conductor of lightning, it's a metal rod which sticks out, I said rather get bloody wet than get knocked out.
Throughout August, wave upon wave of rain replenishes the parched landscape. And in India, despite the damage and death it can bring, the monsoon is seen as a blessing. As the rain sets in, it's likened to a nubile maiden, ripe and sexy. For the young, monsoon is the season of romance.
Everybody likes cars. No. Just talk with them like this, like that, with my friends. At present, I haven't decided for this to getting married. For 3 years, I'm free. I want to go abroad to see the places. Some of the things which I want. People really have to think towards the family. But after 3 years, I'm going to I'm going to tie the knot. Yeah. And my mom's want that.
As August draws to a close, the rains in Assam begin to ease. Tonight on the Coromandel Express, overnight passengers are unaware of the thunderous downpours in Calcutta. But amazingly, here in the southeast region, trains around Kharagpur are unaffected. In Kharagpur, today's a big day. 100 ticket inspectors, led by commercial manager Vivek Srivastava, are on their way to a nearby station to swoop on fare dodgers. Indian Railways provide a social service to the nation, but it's not, as some Indians seem to think, a charity. 11 million people travel on Indian Railways every day, but nobody knows the true number of travellers without tickets. Many people plead poverty as an excuse. Others simply take a chance on being part of an uncountable crowd.
Large number of people are traveling. In a single train, there will be 1,000 persons, and the train stops only for half a minute. And even when they get down at the terminal station, there will be such a deluge of people, you can't check all the tickets thoroughly. So basically, it is you have to do some kind of sample check at in-between stations. So this idea is to put a large contingent of men here at the en route station, stop the train for 2 minutes extra, do 100% checking and let it go. Anyone who travels on our trains must have some authority to travel, either a ticket or a pass. And for poor people, there is a scheme which permits a very low-cost ticket, which costs less than 1 rupee per day.
आप क्या बोले?
चलो अभी ले जाकर रखो, बाद में देखेंगे।
An off-duty policeman has been caught in the net.
The idea is basically to increase the sale of tickets, not nab without ticket passengers. This is only a deterring kind of activity where you put some kind of deterrence that if you travel without ticket, then you can be fined.
This man is police person and is without ticket detect at Panchkuda station. My name is Mohammad Mumtaz. I am detective. কোনো বাজে কথা কিছু বলেনি, আপনাকে বাড়ি থেকে নিয়ে এসেছি আমি। আমি বলছি প্লিজ ইন আমি বলছি আপনাকে ভিতরে আপনি চলুন, এখানে আমার কাছে রিকোয়েস্ট করবেন না। আই এম নট রিকোয়েস্টমেন্ট, ইউ প্লিজ কাম ইন। উইদাউট আসলে আমি বাড়ি থেকে আপনাকে বাড়ি থেকে নিলাম আমি? না তা নয়, রাস্তা থেকে ধরেছি আমি আসছি প্ল্যাটফর্মের মাধ্যমে। আচ্ছা বসুন, আপনার চলুন বসুন বসুন ভিতরে। আই এম ভেরি সরি, বসুন প্লিজ কাম ইন। দিন দিন তা তাক তাক তা দিন দিন তা তাক তাক তা দিন দিন তা আ।
The inundation from monsoon rains over the past few days has overwhelmed Kolkata's Victorian drains. Parts of the city are flooded, but miraculously the water stops short of the station and the trains are still running normally. As the commuters flood onto the station, there's no choice but to run the gauntlet of ticket inspectors. Many of them are ex-boxers like Chinabai, which is a useful skill when you have to enforce the rules. And breaking those rules is a gamble that could cost you dear.
আপনার ভালোর জন্য বলছি, পরে বলবেন না, পরে বুঝবেন না, আপনার ভালোর জন্য আপনার ভালো থানা পাঠিয়ে দেবেন।
পয়সা আমার কাছে নেই, আপনি দেখে নিন মানি ব্যাগ আমি দিয়ে দিচ্ছি।
মানি
আপনি চেক করে নিন আমাকে পুরো পয়সা থাকলে।
The railway's rules and regulations stretch to several weighty tomes, so for any transgression, there's a procedure and an appropriate form. In Bagchi's division, a trainee has waved the wrong flag. It was a dangerous mistake.
স্বভাবতই সে যদি আমার সেকশনে ছেলে কাজ করতে না চায় তো মাঝে মাঝে তারপর একটু চাঁচামেচি করি, গালাগালি করি, তো জাস্ট এটাই আর কি, তার শিখে যাওয়ার জন্য, এমন নয় তাকে স্ট্রিক্টলি। उसके बाद घर चला गया क्या? अभी कल फिर जाएंगे, परसों जाएंगे, उसमें क्या होगा? मेरा क्या लाभ, मैंने ये क्या होगा? हमको तो कुछ फ़ायदा होना चाहिए ना भाई। तो हमको जो भी काम बोलेंगे, देखिए पहले नया है आप लोग, तो पहले हमको जो काम बोलेंगे उसमें तो मेरा दिमाग में ये आना चाहिए, भाई ये क्यों कर रहे हैं सर, ये क्यों करेंगे, क्या इसका रीज़न क्या है, कि कौन कारण से ऐसा कर रहा है, नहीं बोलेंगे आप, नहीं बोलेंगे तो आज देखिए एकदम पूरा दिन बीत गया।
Station kids make their own rules. Life can be nasty, brutish and short. Crime and drugs destroy many railway children. So far, the railways have been good to Bombaya. But things will get harder as he grows up. The orphans look out for each other as best they can, but many rail employees try to help them too.
বেসিক্যালি দেখো, যে ছেলেটা প্ল্যাটফর্মে দাঁড়িয়ে তৈরি হচ্ছে, এত কিছু দিয়ে তৈরি হচ্ছে, তার কাছে ভালো আমরা সবাই আশা করবো, কিন্তু ওদের জন্য আমরা কিছু করছি না, এটা কিন্তু আমায় না, আমার মনে হয় অনেককেই কষ্ট দেয়। সারাদিন না খেয়ে বলে যে তো আমার কী আছে বলো, মানে আমি তো এদের কাছ থেকে শিখি, এদের কাছ থেকে অনেক কিছু মানে লার্ন করি, আমি এদের কাছ থেকে অনেক শিখি, এরাই বলতে পারো আমাকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যায়।
Tapas Bagchi started a charity 8 years ago which cares for the destitute and orphans who live on the stations. There are some 25 station masters involved, all of them colleagues and many of them his friends.
আমাদের একটা মানে ড্রিম প্রজেক্ট আছে, আমরা ওটা মানে বাড়ির জন্য না, ওটা আমরা করবো, ওইটার জন্য লাগবে, সেটা অরফানেজ করার খুব ইচ্ছা আছে আমাদের, যেটা নিয়ে আমরা মানে লড়ছি, আমরা ভাবছি, আমরা স্বপ্ন দেখছি, ওইটা আমরা করবো।
They meet every week after work, and there are only two acceptable reasons for non-attendance. Either you are ill, or your mother-in-law has come to stay.
হ্যাঁ, হয়ে যাওয়ার পরে
Tapas Bagchi's philosophy of life is that for every problem, there exists a solution.
Now fund is not a problem. Other than what? No, what is your problem?
Firstly, you have to purchase the land.
First of all, we have collect the land and what is the cost, and then we think of decide that regarding 5,000 or 6,000, it is not a factor. Why you think about the land?
For the purchasing of land, next step will be taken.
Why are you thinking about the problem? Why are you thinking about the no, why? This is not a factor. So if you think about only problem, this is the problem, then nothing we have done.
Even after his meeting, Bagchi is still enthusing, encouraging, spreading his can-do philosophy.
চলো, মাথা সবসময় একদম হবেই এরকম ধারণা রাখুন, হবেই।
প্রবলেম তো ওভারকাম করা যায়
হ্যাঁ এই তো কোনো ব্যাপার নাকি আর প্রথম থেকে যদি আপনি একদম শেষ পর্যন্ত ভাবতে থাকেন না তো কাজ এগোবে না এই সব ধরনের কাজ এগোবে না এগুলো কি বলুন তো অফিসিয়ালি কোনো কাজ করছেন তো আপনি এগোবেন কিন্তু যদি আপনি একদম প্রথমে কাজ করতে নেমে ভাবেন এটার পর এটা হবে এটার পর এটা হবে এটা এইটা কি ধরনের কবে এটা হতে পারে না কাজ শুরু করো শেষ হবে
This sports club is run by China Bai, the ticket inspector who comes off shift each night to teach street kids to box. The railways gave him a job so that he could train and compete as a boxer. Now he's giving these boys a chance to do the same. All over Kolkata, hundreds of charities run by railway workers are helping the poor. Late at night, in cities, towns and villages, homeless children find shelter on one of India's 7,000 railway stations. The plight of these railway children is widely known, and many charities like Tapas Bakchis try to give them a new start in life. Through its social workers in Howrah, a charity called Future Hope has made contact with Bombaya. And tonight, they have come to take him back to their Calcutta home. It's only a short ride, but a whole world away from life on Howrah station. At Future Hope, Bombaya is delivered into the care of an old boy and an ex-railway kid himself.
When I came, I was 12 plus.
No?
I'm 30. 30 years old. I got a 9+ old daughters. Family man now. So I'm very happy with my life. Got my new life. And I want to see every future boys like me be happy with the family.
Now the monsoon comes as a gently embracing lover, and the rain soaks deep into the earth. The summer is almost over.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of
Steve is secretary of the cemetery committee, which helps the Christians of the colony to bury their dead.
We are charging 6,000 rupees for those people who do have the money to spend 6,000 rupees. We are not charging for those who don't have. We are only charging 250 rupees for the people who want to bury. That's very cheap, I feel.
Generations of railway families rest in peace here, thanks to the charity work of railwaymen like Steve de Cruz. But when he became secretary, he found the charity was in crisis. Its burial funds had vanished. Steve decided he was going to get the money back, and that meant having a word with the local priest.
Money is a thing anybody could use. when you want money, emergency, you could use money. There is no problem in that. But you show us where it is. Don't say I used it and it's not the ordinary money. 10,000, 20,000 rupees. You're looking for it in your pocket. And I asked him, where's it? 10,000. He's putting that in his pocket. I said, what do you think? You carry 10,000 rupees in your pocket? I said. Only the mafia gangsters carry that much of money in their pocket. I told this priest over there, Sudhir Turu, what do you think, you're a gangster or something? You're looking for 10,000 rupees as if you're looking for loose bloody change in your pocket? Because I was told, don't be frightened of anything, go ahead. There was no records of anything. Now we have for 4 years kept everything in order and brought the money back wherever it was, coaxed and cajoled and threatened the priest and all that. And so they gave back all the money and we got it all back in order. The main thing is the money is very safe. That's the main thing. And as a part of the secretary, I feel I'm not doing the correct job of going to the cemetery regularly to check because I don't have time. If somebody says that he wants to take up this job also, I'll be very grateful to that.
বৃষ্টি পড়ে টাপুর টুপুর বৃষ্টি পড়ে টাপুর টুপুর বৃষ্টি পড়ে টাপুর টুপুর বৃষ্টি পড়ে টাপুর টুপুর টাপুর টুপুর টাপুর টুপুর টাপুর টুপুর টাপুর টুপুর
In the land of a million gods, the railway naturally has one of its own, and the festival on September the 17th comes just as the monsoon is drawing to a close. So in loco sheds, signal boxes and station platforms, railwaymen give thanks.
Lord Vishwakarma, as you know, he is a Hindu god. He is the god of creation. He is the architect. He is the engineer. He is the one who has built. He is a real engineer among all the gods. And so that is why in the railways the importance of Lord Vishwakarma is supreme. You can see it everywhere. And during the Vishwakarma Puja, excuse me, friend. Hello. Hello.
In Hindu mythology, Vishwakarma designed all the flying chariots of the gods. Vishwakarma stands for human ingenuity. Every nut, bolt, hammer and wheel are all blessed by him. Vishwakarma has helped them and their railway to survive another year and another monsoon. All over India, everybody on the railways is in a holiday mood. And after they puja, they party.
Every time I looked at this bottle, it was full. I was so happy. Now I'm going to be damn sad it's empty.
The monsoon has visited in all her incarnations, and she's left behind the land refreshed and renewed. She's given India new life, and she has also taken it away. Life on the railways returns to normal.
I am going to sing a song on the railways, and it is from the film Dost. It is in Hindi, and I'm going to just I'm going to sing just 2 lines from that song. गाड़ी बुला रही है, सीटी बजा रही है, गाड़ी बुला रही है, सीटी बजा रही है, चलना ही जिंदगी है, चलती ही जा रही है, गाड़ी बुला रही है, सीटी बजा रही है. It means the train is calling you, it's whistling. Chalna hi zindagi hai. As you walk the life, walk throughout your life, and chalti hi ja rahi hai. Like the train moves, the life also moves. That is the sum and summary of these 2 lines.
A life on the railway for Tapas Bagchi was his dream job. Now he's in his prime and moving up.
দেখি না, দেখো আমি তো, তোমরা ভাবছো যে আমি কাজ করছি, বেসিক্যালি আমার চেয়েও তো অনেক বেশি কাজ অনেক লোকে করছে, অনেক কষ্ট করছে, অনেক কম পয়সা পাচ্ছে। তো আমি তো আমার জায়গাতে, দেখো আমার তো সব কিছু পেয়ে গেছি, আমি চাকরি আছে, আমার পয়সা মাইনে পাচ্ছি মাস গেলে, আমার পাড়াতে মনে করো আমার এই জায়গাতে লোকালি আমাকে সব প্রচুর লোক ভালোবাসে, অফিসে ভালোবাসে, বাড়িতে সেরকম কোনো প্রবলেম অ্যারাইজ করছে না। তো আর কি চাওয়া যেতে পারে? মানে তুমি আরও কত কিছু চাইবে, আর কত কিছু চাইবে? তুমি তো সব পেয়ে গেছো। তুমি যদি পেতেই থাকো তা তুমি এবার তো তোমার কিছু দেওয়ার জায়গা আছে, তুমি তো এবার দেবে।
Steve de Cruz is reaching the end of his career. The future may be uncertain, but retirement and a railway pension are guaranteed.
I'll be returning on the 30th of November 2008, and then I don't belong to the railways anymore. I can live my own life, get up when I feel like, go to sleep when I feel like. There's no time, I don't have to keep any timing. I hope I don't get bored. I hope I don't get bored, because my life over here is very fast. One thing after another. Right, master, right.
Steve had a friend who retired to England, but he used to return to India every 6 months.
And he used to live like a king over here, with the same pen, the dole which he used to get. They call it the dole, no? So he used to come and live like a king here. He said, with that money, I won't be able to survive there, but over here I live like a king. Somebody does my marketing, somebody does that. I got a vehicle to take me here. I don't have a permanent vehicle. I just phone, hire a vehicle. I live like a king. But not with the same, I won't be a king if I'm living there. I'll be like a beggar. And Ali was a rump character. And now? He's dead.
At Goreshwa Junction, the train is ready to leave. Subhash Kumar Rai, diesel assistant driver, may dream of being a rock star, but in reality, he is the rock of his fatherless family.
It's our traditions to think about your responsibilities and to look towards your family. That's our responsibility. People think in that way, with long you're wearing cap, this type of clothes, wearing this clothes. Without that, is he doing his responsibilities? I'm sure that there are things in that way, and I'm doing my responsibilities. Let's see, if my luck favors, then naturally I believe you are a good driver, and all of my colleagues, they come to me, at least they will praise, they are going to praise me. Oh yeah, he's a good driver.
I would like to dedicate this number to all the employees of the railway department, and long live railway department. So here the number goes, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We run this railway as a part of the service to the society. Profit comes later. This railway has given me so much in my entire life. I have to give back something. So that is only possible when it is state-owned. A private organization cannot have a corporate culture which traditionally for last 150 years, from the British era to post-independence era, we have been nurturing with ourselves, with our forefathers. A sense of belonging has come to us.
This year, the monsoon claimed more than 1,000 lives and disrupted a further 63 million. There were over 100 train accidents, and in Assam alone, there were 83 breaches of the track by floods. According to the weathermen, it was just an average monsoon.